Whoa,
Using up
69
all my
viewers.
jokes in the end of the pre-show. This is
Oh
bad.
yeah, 69 viewers.
When when you're 13 and you just see like my post 69, bro. Come on, get it. It's a sex thing. I don't know that many sex things, but that's a thing I know. Is those two numbers. See, that's supposed to be. But
I
then
don't
if
know what
you
it
ask-
means, but I know it's a sex thing, so I'm
But
gonna
then if-
pretend like I know what it means. Sound edgy.
Dude, which one's the chick and which is the 6 the girl, or are they both got who's who?
Dude, the six is the dude, and the 9 is the guy. But watch this. No, it's the other way around.
Oh my god, so you're saying anyone could be a 6 or a 9?
69 was the key to being gender fluid the whole time.
Whoa, that just got deep. I hope this is how you start the podcast, because this is fucking gold.
Yeah, we'll start it like that. So, welcome to the podcast. we had 69 viewers, now we have 73.
That was
Wow.
funny. That was funny.
So, yeah, Tom's here again. He wasn't here last time.
I was not.
No.
So, yeah.
I'm being extra funny to make up for my missed show.
Yeah. So, I guess we're going to talk about things today. But how was your guys' Labor Day
It was
weekend?
I labored making videos and writing scripts.
Oh.
good. Oh, that's cool.
So
I was not as productive, but we had lots of good food and had a party today.
Oh.
That was-
I did watch your top 9
Oh, 9 best.
Yeah, 9 best movies of the summer,
Yeah.
which did not have Jurassic World in it. Why didn't it have Jurassic World in it?
Oh! Oh, is it because at the end I did my impression of Jurassic World?
Yeah.
I was like, the babysitter gets eaten and some dinosaurs attack each other. That's like the whole movie. No, I will say for the thing with Jurassic World is I'm not in love with. I had a good time. I liked it. All right. I didn't hate it either. I'm just kind of like that was fine, and it just wasn't in my top 9, I guess. But I get asked.
number 10.
Actually, you know what? 10 would probably be Magic Mike XXL. just if you think I'm joking, see the scene of Joe Manganiello in the convenience store. It's one of the most hilarious things I think I've seen in a long time. But I don't hate Jurassic World, but I do get asked about it. Like anytime I'm at a party and someone knows I review movies or something, they're always like, "What do you think?" I have to hear their bitching about Jurassic World and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like that's the one thing. Jurassic World's like a couple years ago with The Hobbit. I had the same thing. People were like, "Oh, so you like movies? What'd you think of The Hobbit?" And I'd be like, I mean, I didn't really like it. And go, yeah, I felt the same way. And then you'd have to hear them bitch about their weird theories.
Like our friend Draft was like that at that the first party that happened at BronyCon, where yeah, he was just like completely like bitching about it like for like 20 minutes.
I mean,
But then
yeah,
we had that awesome discussion about Inside Out, which totally
yeah, the Inside Out thing.
I mean, Jurassic World will be for like the next half a year. People will be like, "What'd you think of Jurassic World?" But anytime I say the thing about how they're just B monster movies kind of thing, people get really upset. Which is weird because Paleo is the only one who I know who likes them and accepts that and is into them because of that. Which I actually think that's cool. But
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. Like, I don't see why that's such a big deal. But I also like 3. Paleo.
Yeah.
We have some common ground on the Jurassic Park front.
I enjoyed 3. It was monsters fighting.
I think people don't.
I can sit through Godzilla versus the Smog Monster and have fun. Jurassic Park 3 was fucking like
it's
amazing.
Like, I don't
Okay.
see what the problem is with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I had fun with Jurassic World. I just wasn't. Hey, I liked it more than San Andreas, huh? Huh? No. Okay.
I was watching my dad watching that the other night, and I was like, oh.
San Andreas. Oh,
Yeah.
geez. The only good
Fun
thing-
fact about San Andreas, or at least my experience with it, I saw it the first time I heard of it. I didn't see the trailer or anything. I just saw it listed as movies coming out. I'm like, they're making a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what a lot of people thought.
I'm so uneducated in my East Coast life.
The only good part of that movie is the girl who plays his daughter, who couldn't, unless he had that girl when he was like 13, couldn't actually be his daughter. But she's like the only good part of that movie, both because she's really pretty and because she's a decent actress. So it's not just me being creepy.
Your wife cat's in the other room.
It's okay. She can't hear.
All right.
But yeah.
So yeah. If you want to ask us questions for the other part of the podcast, ask us questions on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are down there, and you just ask us things about things. So first up on the agenda is Regular Show the movie came out.
Yeah.
On digital download, and it comes out on DVD next month, and then it's premiering on TV in November, which is like completely backwards.
It kind of is, yeah.
Well, it's like they went through the whole release pattern in 3 months, 4 months, which is weird. Like,
yeah, in reverse, it's strange.
Well, yeah, because it's like, why is it? Well, what I wondered is where does it fall within the continuity of the show? Do we know that, or is it? Are they delaying it because of that?
No. I'm not sure where it falls into the continuity of the show, because I think they kind of avoided making it like legitly like end part of any arc that they had, because you don't see any of the like relationships that Mordecai had in this.
Yeah, CJ's not in it.
Yeah, and it's really just focused on Mordecai and Rigby and their friendship.
They left it purposely ambiguous so it could be at any point in the show.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I know they made it while they were working on the last season.
Yeah. Which
is why last season was shorter. So I don't know why it like where it fits into all this, but you know, they did do some like they changed a certain thing about the continuity that I was like, what? With the college thing.
Oh yeah, the college thing.
Because Mordecai said he went to art school for a while, right?
Yeah.
He did.
And then suddenly in the movie, he went to this community college. Yeah, which was like, why did you change that? Like,
maybe he was studying art at community college.
Ooh, twist.
Yeah.
Good point.
I studied art at a state school, but I just say I go to art school so I sound more impressive than I actually am.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
I mean, that seems like a Mordecai thing to do.
That's
right?
a good point. Okay, all right. It just seemed like because he explained like everything about the backstory to make it work for the movie, and he didn't explain that, and I was like, wait, did they just? But Tom just explained it, so
I haven't even seen the movie, and I'm headcanoning this shit up. Got it good.
I like the movie.
Yeah, I liked it too, though I feel like I might have been expecting too much from it. I'm not sure why. Like after I watched it, I was like, that was good, but I'm not terribly impressed with it. So
well, no, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't like an amazing episode. It wasn't like the Ducks episode recently. I think that was better.
Oh yeah.
The Ducks episode was like really good, and I don't think they topped it. It just like showed like this is how good regular show is regularly, I guess. You know, it's like because like the thing about regular show is when I bring it up to people, I was like, that show's been consistently good for a very long time, and I think most people kind of have forgotten about it. And with the movie, it's like. Not that the movie's not bad, but it's not like I don't think anyone would put it as their best thing, and I think it makes you go, it did make me go like, hey, wait a minute, if this is like as good as a regular kind of episode is, it's still pretty damn good. I think that says a lot about the show. I don't know. Whereas Adventure Time's been I've missed like the last bunch, but I know
I haven't kept up with Adventure Time recently.
Yeah, people seem to not be as into it, so.
Can't wait for that theatrical film to come out and tank.
That film's going to be like that Phineas and Ferb movie that was supposed to come out and didn't, where they'll pick a date and they'll develop it, but it won't go anywhere. I mean, that Phineas and Ferb movie was supposed to come out when that second Wolverine movie came out. Huh. So, 2 years ago. Oh. So I don't think it's happening.
Okay, here's the most important question, though. How did they not call it regular movie?
That is a good question, But I think it's because it's called regular show, so they have to do brand recognition.
But the whole thing is like they're gonna advertise it on CN and everything, so they're just gonna be like, the regular movie. They could have done it. Opportunity missed. 0 out of 10. Worst movie ever. #1 worst movie of the summer.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I know, but I've seen all I need to see. The title and the pun avoided. Kisk kisk.
Jeez.
Yeah, I still did like it though. As far as like the continuity with the show, I think they, yeah, like Tom said, they purposely left it kind of ambiguous of like where it fits in, because they don't bring in any of the arcs that were going on in the show, so they just have this certain storyline that's as would be part of a regular episode.
Yeah, I mean, they also do a good job. I think. I don't know. It was a good, enjoyable movie. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I do like a lot of the like '80s references that they have in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to give like too many away, but one that I laughed at was like laughed out loud at was like, soon I'll be time traveling like that guy in that movie about time traveling.
I mean, I did like how they based it all off of Mordecai and Rigby's relationship. That was really strong and well done. Because they don't really do too many just about their relationship. It's just usually about them being buds. There have been a few, but, you know,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. But I didn't like all the side characters. It was just kind of like they didn't really know what to do with anyone else. It was just kind of like Mordecai and Rigby's movie.
Yeah.
And everyone else was kind of like there. But I mean, I still think it was well done and directed, and I like the villain, and you know. But the time travel stuff was cool. I actually like the time travel stuff. So,
Yeah.
But I wish they put it out in theaters because they could just do a thing where, like, didn't Dragon Ball do it, where it's like only certain show times?
Yeah.
They could have done that.
Yeah, I wish they did that. Apparently, they did have a showing in LA, but that was like for press, I think.
No, it was like for a week
Oh, really?
in one theater in LA. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
And
fuck
they-
that shit.
So I was surprised. I thought there'd be all these people in LA like bragging about it online, and like nobody said anything. So I
Yeah.
don't
Nobody
know.
knew.
Like I checked the movie on I checked movies, and I saw that somebody else had one check, and that was like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh.
Oh man, I forgot about that site. I need to go back to that. But yeah.
So, speaking of cartoon movies, let's talk about this movie that's in the works. That's a Nicktoons movie, where they're having all the Nicktoons join this Avengers-like team.
But not Doug.
Yeah, but not Doug, because he's Disney now.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing of this, but this sounds awful.
Yeah. Tom's reaction is like, why do I live in this world?
You know what? Here's the problem. They've waited so long to like hit you with the nostalgia for these franchises. They're no longer the best. Like I say,
Yeah.
cartoons now are way better than they were back in the '90s. So it's
Yeah.
just like oh, here are all your old favorites back to like save you from these better shows that are like way more well done. Just like I don't fucking care anymore. Your time is past. You waited too long. If this was
Yeah.
like 5 years ago, I'd be like, fuck yes. But now it's too late.
Yeah. Like, the cartoons that they list were like, Rocco, Rugrats, Angry Beavers, Hey Arnold.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy, which I was very surprised by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it like I don't know how it would work, but I know the people who worked on the SpongeBob sequel are doing it.
Really.
But I don't know how it would work really.
Though, if it's going to be like the second half of the SpongeBob sequel, I'm like, because they said they wanted them to like have an Avengers like movie. I was like, oh no.
Oh my god, you're right. That's just like the SpongeBob sequel.
Yeah.
And that was so awful.
Yeah, like the first half of the movie is great because it's all 2D animated, but then it
Yeah.
like turns into this weird superhero thing. It's like, oh, why?
I would be more for it if it
I
was
want to see Nigel
spe-
Thornberry in 3D. I want to see that.
But if it was a special on Nickelodeon, I think more people would check it out. But if it's a
Yeah.
movie, like that's already not worked with the Wild Thornberrys Rugrats combo movie. Like I don't
Yeah.
think there's a precedent for that to do well. Like
I don't think anyone's gonna spend money on this.
yeah, and you know they're gonna put SpongeBob in there. SpongeBob will be like Captain America or something.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just-
he would be more like Iron Man. He's more.
Okay, so
popular.
a question:
Yeah,
is this
okay.
gonna be a literal Avengers parody, or is it just gonna be like a team up?
They just said it's a team up type thing.
Okay.
But the way they say it is like Avengers, as if like all these heroes never meet up with each other,
what?
and not like no. I mean, as far as like
What Avengers did you see? What do you mean?
no, no. I'm saying like they say as if these heroes never met each other like in the comics or whatever. But I think what they mean, and I think they might have had their like analogy kind of skewed a bit, and they weren't saying the right things. I think what they mean as far as a movie like the Avengers, they mean they want more of a Nicktoons movie like the Lego movie, maybe.
Oh yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
brought up. The thing, I just don't. I mean, SpongeBob the sequel did better than anyone thought it would, but I think
Yeah.
they need to think about like Lego Movie did well because of Chris Lord and Phil Miller. Chris Miller and Phil Lord. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It did well because of those two. It didn't do well just because it was a Lego movie, and I think these brands need to understand that. But they're all thinking like, well, hey, Lego Movie did well, and if we get the right director. But I've yet to see someone else actually be able to do that. So I just don't think a Nicktoons. It's a cool idea for a special. It's not a movie,
Yeah.
So
They
maybe
they could do another drug special with like Garfield and Michelangelo.
I want
Yeah.
that in theaters, directed by Michael Bay. Let's do it.
I don't know if what
Wait, doesn't Nickelodeon have the rights to Garfield and Ninja Turtles, so they could do that?
they do have the rights to Ninja Turtles, so Ninja Turtles could be in there. They have the rights to Garfield.
I remember they did like reruns of like Garfield and Friends like back when, so I'm
That's
not sure
true.
if they do have the rights to
Does
it.
having the rights to run a show in syndication equivalent to having the rights of the franchise entirely?
I know.
It
Wait,
does.
I don't know.
Not necessarily, no.
No.
I think Jim Davis still has. Jim Davis has that shit on lock until Blue Sky makes a shitty cartoon of it and puts it out in November.
Well, it'll be better than the live action one, hopefully.
Hopefully, I don't know. What that? I don't know. But yeah,
All right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Next up, something Tom can talk about because I can't talk about too much. I just know about the things that have been going on with it. Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah! Metal Gear!
Metal Gear.
Can't be. Metal Gear.
So
Yeah. New Metal Gear is
you've
out.
you've been playing it, right?
I have. I was gonna torrent it because I didn't want to give Konami my money because they're bastards.
Yeah.
But I caved because I wanted to do a video on it, and I figured I could just use it as a tax deduction at the end of the year. So I'm going to use my purchase of the Phantom Pain as a tax deduction.
Oh, you're one of those guys who takes a long time at H&R Block, aren't you?
No, not at all.
You got like all these receipts, and they're like, oh, god damn it.
No, the house knows a guy down the street who does taxes, and I'm just like,
Oh, okay.
save me. No,
Why do you put your fingers in his face? That's weird.
because like I have to pay him in favors because I don't have money. It's just I work on the
Ooh.
internet.
Oh yeah.
Look at me, Mr. Catwife over here. Don't be talking to me about
Sorry, I'm sorry. It was just like the way you did it. He goes, I'm like do this, and I was like imagining this guy's like, oh, do your taxes. I go, why is Tom always put his fingers in my face? Makes me
Because-
feel bad.
desperate.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, I don't even know. What should I talk about Metal Gear? It's fucking great, because it is. It's like ridiculously good.
Yeah, so I've heard.
It's not like any other Metal Gear game that's ever came out. Basically, if you hated the original Metal Gear games, play this one, because it's pretty much the
I've
antithesis.
heard the gameplay is really fun.
Holy shit, yes it is. I'm really bad at it. But I'm actually, okay, I don't know if I'm bad at the game, because you can stealth or you can go in guns blazing. And if you get spotted, normally in like Metal Gear, it's like you're fucked. Like you need to like bail your ass out of that shit, or you're like gonna die. But in this game,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, you have like a grenade launcher strapped onto your back, a fucking automatic rifle, and 2 handguns and a riot shield. If people find you, like, let's fucking throw down. So, but I'm like the person who wants to like sneak past everybody. So every time I get spotted, I just start swearing and then restart from the last checkpoint. So I don't know if I can survive in a gunfight because I don't want to do gunfights. I want to sneaky sneak the entire time. But the game's really flexible in how it lets you like approach situations and stuff. Like I was just doing a mission a couple days ago where you had to like cross this bridge. There were like snipers, and there are all these dudes at like guard posts, and had like spotlights and everything. And I kept trying to go across the bridge, and I kept getting spotted. And I was like, fuck it. So I just went under the bridge.
Oh.
And it worked. I was like, all right. So like it's super open and like how you ever you want to tackle situations you can. The controls are ridiculously like spot on because I really like Metal Gear, but I always play Metal Gear primarily for the story, and the gameplay is just like something that's kind of interesting to get me to the next cutscene. Because I'm like one of those guys who's just like I'm super into like watching Metal Gear. Like I don't mind that at all. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, it's just like yeah, 90-minute cutscene. I'm down. Popcorn. I'm gonna fucking do this. So this game has none of that. There's like no cutscenes. Kiefer Sutherland as Snake never says anything. There was one cutscene in the beginning of the game, and that's it so far. And I've played 11 hours. Okay, there's one short little cutscene other than that, but that's it. Like usually, I've watched 11 hours of Metal Gear and played 20 minutes. It's the opposite in this game. So, it's all about the gameplay, and I'm kind of disappointed in that because I really like the like pseudo philosophical talk that goes on for hours and hours on end.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like crazy like set piece moments that happen in Metal Gear cutscenes where it's just like these crazy over the top action sequences or ridiculous stuff will happen. But in this game, you play all those sequences because when shit gets out of hand, you can have an entire like Eastern Communications Tower worth of like Russian soldiers all on your ass, and you have to deal with it yourself. And what's cool about this game is because you have this development of Mother Base, which is like where your operations are located, and you have this little thing called an iDroid, which is, it's a funny, cute little name for it, but you have this little like holographic thing where you can call down supplies from your base at any time. So it's just like, you might be like decked out for sneaking, but then you trigger the guards. You're just like, I'm calling in a supply drop for a rocket launcher. And then like 30 seconds later, rocket launch, like, all right, let's do this. So you can constantly be calling in like supplies and stuff and gaining new abilities that you're building from your research team on Mother Base. So if you're like pinned down against the corner, you can just keep calling in supply drops. You can call in airstrikes from helicopters from the base. So like the amount of shit you can do is ridiculous. So it's supremely fun. And then they have the whole multiplayer aspect with FOBs, which is like you build up your base for a while, which is offline, but then you can also build forward operating bases, and those are online. So all the stuff you recover in the field, because you can recover troops, you can recover supplies, you can recover weapons and stuff. Basically anything in the game you can Fulton, which is like this like big balloon. You put balloons on people and send them back into the air, and they go back to your base. And guys you do that to are recruited to your army, and then weapons you do that to you can place on your forward operating bases because other players can invade your base and try and steal your shit.
Cool.
Or you can fight back against them. You can invade their bases back. So if anyone invades your base, it tells you who it is. So if you want to fuck them over later, you can. And like it's just like everything meshes together really well. And I'm enjoying it a lot. And immediately after this podcast is over, I'm gonna go play more because it's work. Because I need to make a video on it, so I can totally do it without feeling guilty. It's great.
Yeah. About this supply drop thing, I saw a GIF on Tumblr of where like somebody just put it on a bear, and then like the bear just went up.
Yeah, you can do it with anything. It's like great. There's like a mission where I had to like Fulton a sheep. Like there was like these side ops, which are just like kind of like herp-a-derp missions that don't really like, they're not real missions. And like one of them was like extract a prisoner, save like this dude. And one of them's just like farmer's missing a sheep. Sneak behind enemy lines and save his sheep. So you just strap a balloon onto a sheep. It's like bang, and goes up in the air. Mission complete. Yeah, did it. So like that's kind of the, I mean it has Metal Gear's like humor and stuff. You know, every room on your base has a shower because like as you take hits and stuff, you get bloody and like you get stuff all over you. And eventually, if you don't take a shower after a while, like flies will start being all over you. And like every time you go up to like your soldiers you recruited, they're just like like they can't. They're trying to salute you, but they can't. Smell horrible. And like eventually, like one of your main guys will come over and just be like, boss, you stink, and then just like throw water all over you and force you to take a shower.
Well,
That's funny. I like that.
But it's great. The guys, like, all the guys love you because, like, you're, like, the legendary big boss. So every time you go up to guys, they'll, like, automatically salute you. Be like, I love you, boss. And then, like, you can punch them, and they say thank you. You beat the fuck out of them, they're like, thank you, boss. It's like, you can't do any wrong in their eyes. It's fucking awesome.
Wow.
So you just feel like a badass, and it's super dope. And I love it. And I'm kind of ashamed that I gave money to Konami for it because they fucked over Kojima and all that shit.
Yeah. Have you been seeing on like how Kojima has been going to Japanese stores and just signing all the copies?
Legendary. Here's the thing, though. Everyone's been making a big deal about, like, oh, they pulled Kojima's name from the game and everything. So, like, I know they pulled his name from all the trailers. They took his name off the, like, Kojima Productions logo on the game and stuff. But 30 seconds into the game, the first cutscene, a Hideo Kojima game.
Really?
And then every mission starts with credits, and it always says a Hideo Kojima game. So I've seen Hideo Kojima's name at least 36 times in the game so far, because it's the beginning of every mission. It's weird. Like, the missions play out as kind of like movies. In the beginning, it'll say, like, all the characters who are going to be in this mission, which is kind of a spoiler, because, like, one of the surprise endings to the last mission I played was spoiled for me, because it said in the beginning, with showing, like, these opening credits, that he was going to show up. So that was kind of a bummer. But it always says at the beginning of the mission, it's a Hideo Kojima game. And then at the end, it has, like, a credit crawl, which you can skip, and it has his name there again.
The thing they do in movies when they have a person they don't want you to know about, they're not in the opening credits. Like, why wouldn't they do that? That's so stupid.
I just don't understand why they took all this time to remove his name from all the press and, like, the box art.
Yeah.
And
when he's like on the game.
Throughout the game. And, like, you can recruit him, too. Apparently somewhere he's in the game. He can be on your base. And he's, like, an S++ rank guy.
Wow.
Because, of course, he is. So... But yeah, it's good.
That reminds me, because I was going to ask this question to Jim. I'm pretty sure it probably has happened before where a director has been kicked off a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several times.
But, yeah, anything like this, though, as far as, like, their entire creation, it's like, because Metal Gear Solid 5 is, like, Kojima's, like, entire, like, thing, right?
Well, there's some older studio films where it happened, like, in the old Hollywood days, and I actually reviewed one right before Ant-Man because I wanted to see a movie that several directors had ended up working on. And sometimes what would happen is they'll recast a part, but the movie's done, and directors in those days would work on assignments. So the director who already, in the one, I did this film female, and it was for my William Wellman review series, but William Wellman had moved on to a different movie. And the studio head was like, well, I don't like this one actor who has a small part, so let's reshoot everything with this one actor. But they had to get a different director. But William Wellman directed, I think in the finished film, about 80% of the film is his, but he wasn't credited with it, which is like bonkers. Is like someone else is credited directing it, even though most of it supposedly is like he worked on it longer than anyone. And that happened in the studio era, but nowadays, the way the guilds work out, I don't think you could get away with that. Or they just made it be called Alan Smithy, which not a lot of people do anymore. But
yeah,
you know. But I know in that case, in the old studio days, this happened a lot. Now it's too litigious. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's just interesting how this whole thing happened with Metal Gear Solid, and then...
Well, he did everything, right? Like, the game was done when this happened, right?
Pretty much. Do you know... Well, as far as I can tell, and again, like, obviously I'm not a Konami, but the whole reason this shit is going down, because this is just, like, the latest in a series of Konami being, like, moronic.
Yeah.
Because it all started when they canceled PT.
Yeah.
Because that was also a Konami project. And PT was, like, the playable teaser that Kojima was a part of.
For Silent Hills.
So it was going to be Hideo Kojima. It's going to be Guillermo del Toro who's going to help on it. And Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
So, like, it was like, holy shit. Like, this is going to be fucking epic. And everyone's like, this is the best horror game, like, come out in a long-ass time. Yeah. And they canned it. And the reason they canned it, as far as I'm aware, is that there's a new CEO at Konami, and he only cares about bottom line, and they don't want to make video games anymore. Because Konami does other things besides video games, especially in Japan. Like the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game.
Gambling.
That's by Konami. But the big thing is pachinko machines.
Gambling.
Fuck tons of money. Because gambling was just recently made legal in Japan. For a while it wasn't. So gambling's huge right now. And what they're doing is they're making like Konami game-themed pachinko machines.
Yeah, there's like a Castlevania one and a Contra one.
Oh, okay.
So they're saying like these are cheaper to make. They make way more money. And the fact of the matter is, like, a lot of the times we lease them, we don't even sell them. So we make more money off of that. And so they canceled PT because it just was going to be a huge money sink, and the guy just wanted no part of it. And apparently they wanted to pull the plug on Metal Gear, but Metal Gear had already spent so much money on it, it was almost done, that they just had to let it go, otherwise they would have lost.
That would have been a shit fest.
It would have been like the shittiest of shit fests.
Well, that's what I don't get is why they can't have two revenue streams, because that's what keeps a company more afloat. What if the gambling thing doesn't work out?
Well, here's another thing.
In 10 years, but Metal Gear, they still have this video game.
They're already on like the road to ruin, because the only reason anyone would want to play a Silent Hill themed pachinko machine is because they have fond memories of Silent Hill, the video game.
Exactly.
Inevitably, if you don't keep making good games, no one's going to care about the pachinko machines based on a franchise that hasn't been talked about in 10 years. So it's just, it's a short-term mentality, and I don't think it's going to work out for them in the long run. And like just the consumer hatred toward them right now, the backlash is enormous. Yeah. Like, nobody likes them.
I mean, there's tons of movie studios who make things just to sell, like Cars, everyone knows, is made just to sell merchandise. Yeah. But like they still are making movies because they know without it they couldn't make $3 billion off merchandise every time they make one. And it's like that's really short-sighted and just frankly stupid, because if they want to make all this off gambling based on their own properties, then you kind of have to keep the properties consistent.
What really confused me was the Contra one, because I was like, there hasn't been a Contra game. The last Contra was Contra 4 on the DS, I think.
Yeah.
And that came out.
Or that, it's like Contra.
That came out in 2007. So.
I mean, Contra has a lot of like old school cred.
Yeah, Contra's always going to be remembered, you know. I mean, there's certain things, properties that you don't really need to update. They'll be fine. Like you know, I don't think you actually need to make a new Star Wars movie, but people will always know what Star Wars is.
Yeah.
Or same with, they don't, you know, nobody remembers any of the times they've tried to make other Wizard of Oz movies. We still remember the old one from '39. What?
It just reminded me of the friggin'
James Frank.
Dorothy's Return or whatever.
Oh yes, I forgot
that animated movie that came out last year.
Oh God, yes, you're right.
I vaguely remember this,
but it's stupid for them to like. That's the one thing. Movie studios, like when the DVD bubble was bursting, they saw it coming and they prepared for it. But it's like, if you're not preparing for all the options you can and go into all the options you can, you're not going to survive. I mean, that's one of the things that why the porno industry, business-wise, is the envy of a lot of industries, because they'll just go into something. They're like, let's hope this works so we have another revenue stream. Like, that's what people... If you're running a company, you should just look at, like, how many revenue streams can I get into? Because, like, what if one...
Diversify your portfolio.
I mean, that's, like, why people do Facebook video, is because they think it'll eventually be monetized, and they want to be there.
Right.
You know. Do we know if it... I don't know if it even will. They keep saying it will. I don't know the deal with that.
There are a few accounts that are already monetized, like big companies.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that's like you just get into those things, and if they're just kind of getting out of something that's proven to make them money... Because they're like, but this could make us more money. It's stupid. Like, why not just do both? I don't understand what the big deal is.
One's expensive and one's cheap.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. If one expensive is going to...
The whole thing is that, like, it seems like Konami, just, like, as a company right now, like, the board of directors, whoever's calling all the shots, they don't understand the games industry.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their franchises, like, the most recent one, I think, was Alone in the Dark, which is, like, a pretty big franchise for Konami. And they... gave it to some like shitty developer, and they made like a really awful multiplayer co-op shooter, and it like got universally panned. And like the whole game was a horror game called Alone in the Dark, And so this game was a co-op game together, not alone, and you had to hide in the light.
Wait,
So you were together in the light in a game called Alone in the Dark.
Was that Konami? Or... Because
I think it was Konami. I believe it was.
Well, if people want this to stop, what they should do is, about a year... If you had asked me a year ago what the worst studio was in Hollywood, I would have said Sony.
No, that was Atari.
But when they hacked Sony, like, everything changed. So if someone could hack Konami and get all those emails out,
that would be ridiculous.
Maybe we could, like...
Who knows why they let Kojima go?
Like, someone just hack Konami, let all that info out, and then we can kind of figure out... Maybe they'll restructure. Look at Sony. Like, I don't think Spider-Man would be part of the MCU if the Sony hack hadn't happened. And there's going to be repercussions of that for years and years.
Yeah.
And if they did that to Konami, maybe they would have the repercussions where it could go more in the favor of the people who actually like this stuff.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe
we know why Kojima got let go, because we're still not clear on why that happened.
Maybe it's not as cool as we hope.
There's only one way to find out. Chat, you have a mission. Get on it.
Yeah.
Hashtag hack Konami. HACKONAMI. Hack Konami. Do it.
All right. Let's. Speaking of Konami, apparently Castlevania is getting an anime. A very violent anime.
Well, I guess there's your portfolio diversification.
Yeah, and it's from producer Adi Shankar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
What did they do?
He did Dread.
Ooh.
And also that short the Punisher Dirty Laundry. So, yeah.
I would watch this.
And it was revealed that the animation studio Frederator is involved with the production.
Oh, hey.
And one thing he said that he's going for with this animated series is says, when asked about the violence level, it says there will be a lot. The goal is to bring hard-hitting anime to America and be America's first animated series for adults. I don't think it's going to be the first. It's kind of long. Like, that train's already sailed.
Yeah.
That train's already sailed.
But the train's already sailed. Wow, Paleo. Wow.
It's like a train with a sail on it.
It's like a screen door on a battleship. It's a screen door on a submarine.
No, but he says the series that would influence the show would be like stuff like Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Ninja Scroll, and Young Justice. So
one of those things is not like the other.
Yeah, one of these things is not like the others.
It's like it took me
like
a minute to go,
that's not really super violent.
I think that could be cool.
Could be cool.
Yeah, and it's going to be Konami. Yeah, it's going to be based on Castlevania 3.
Where is it going? Is this a Netflix or a
Castlevania 3?
Yeah.
Adult Swim.
It says the game that followed Trevor Belmont, who is assisted by
Castlevania nobody cares about?
No, a lot of people care about Castlevania 3.
Castlevania 3?
Yeah.
No. There's Castlevania 1, which everyone loves. There's Castlevania 2, which everybody hates. There's Castlevania 3, which everybody ignores. And there's Super Castlevania 4 that everybody loves.
And there's Symphony of the Night.
And there's Symphony of the Night, which everyone masturbates to furiously.
Oh, someone on the chat said, plot twist, it's not Frederator, it's Fred from YouTube making it. That's good.
But yeah, it's apparently it's going to be like an anime miniseries, so it might be like something like 6 episodes instead of like a full or a half core.
That would be a cool event, an Adult Swim event, much like what Over the Garden Wall, which comes out on DVD tomorrow, I believe. I wasn't sponsored, I just remember that. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it is. It's got special.
I'd buy that shit.
I was gonna buy that in Fury Road same day. But anyway, you don't need to know my Best Buy receipt. But but yeah, I think it would be a cool, like, if you did the same thing as Over the Garden Wall on there, I think that would be cool. I'd be down.
Yeah. But yeah, so Castlevania anime is going to happen apparently. next thing, something that I think was just announced today or yesterday, Miyamoto just went out and said, so Pikmin 4 is almost done. And it was like, what? Okay.
That's one way to announce a game, I guess.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because what are the other franchises doing right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they've already made another Pikmin.
Yeah, that's very surprising.
Figured they'd let that series lie for a bit. Yeah, maybe it's a 3DS game?
I don't know, maybe. Because Pikmin 3 was something that people waited for a very long time. Which I still don't have, and now it's hard to find.
You fucked it up.
I could have bought it for like $30 at Target when I saw it, but I didn't. It sucks. Anyway, yeah, so Pikmin 4 is going to happen, and somebody told me that there was rumors about Super Mario Galaxy 3, but I don't think that's true. No, I wouldn't like that. Still waiting on a Metroid for Wii U, though.
We have Federation forces, Paleo. We should be fine. We should be sated for now.
The thing is, like, about Federation. I was thinking of Frederator.
Frederator forces?
Yeah, about Federation Force is that a lot of people are confused about, like, what it is, because it is, like, a co-op shooter type thing, but that the soccer thing that's shown at the end is, like, a mini-game. That's part of it. Which is what everybody thinks what the main game is, but that's not what it is. But still, I would have rather had a, Metro game with Samus in it.
Metroid Fusion 2. Metroid Fusion 2. The dream will not die. Someday. It's never gonna happen.
Well, never have another 2D Metroid. Never. Anyway.
My soul.
I guess that's a thing. Next thing, YouTube Gaming launched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that on purpose, the YouTube Gaming?
No, it wasn't, but I'll make it on purpose.
I haven't even tried it yet.
Yeah, I've looked at it, and it looks like you have, like, the channels on the side, and then, like, other suggested videos. It feels very cramped the way it looks. You can switch between regular YouTube and YouTube Gaming. Like, you can, like, look at your channel on YouTube Gaming and see what it looks like, and, like, all the videos are, like, different sizes. It's strange.
They had that whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
This week.
And that was going on, like, he was responding to that, and then because the thing that induced it, is that the right word? I guess. Anyway, was a skit that he had about, like, making fun of Let's Players or people who watch Let's Plays, and, like, there was a skit of, like, somebody. Now you can watch somebody watch Let's Plays, and then you can watch them watch. It was like some.
Oh, and it just kept going forever and ever.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't see when he was doing that. I was like, I feel like he doesn't really get what this is. So he's just. Or I also thought, because the whole thing, like, ended by the end of the week with him, like, playing with some, like, bigger Let's Play people, I guess, if I'm saying all this right. It seemed very calculated. Like, they're like, okay, this is the week you're gonna argue with YouTube Gaming to give it more publicity. I don't know if that's true or I'm just being a conspiracy theorist, but I kind of felt that way. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
Because
it's got deep pockets.
Publicity stunt?
I mean, it was the only way that I heard about YouTube Gaming getting that much coverage in media that doesn't really cover gaming stuff.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that it was a way to break through without using, the gaming media, who are already probably talking about YouTube Gaming. They wanted other people to talk about it. So yeah. I think it's just YouTube trying to get as much as they can possibly. They're like, well, someone else is doing this, so we have to do it too. We'll take Twitch's audience also.
Okay, I think the reason YouTube Gaming became a thing is because they got fucked on the Twitch deal.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get... They were trying to buy Twitch?
Well, here's the thing. Do you remember, like last year, I think it was last year, when they added that feature where it's like, now we added a feature on YouTube. It'll say on all your videos if you're live on Twitch, link your Twitch account. And like there was rumors going on that like the YouTube's gonna buy Twitch. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, it was like Amazon's like, JK, no, we did.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then YouTube just like, oh. Now we're sending people over to Amazon's site. Fuck. So I think that's why YouTube gaming became a thing, because they were just like, oh, fuck you. We'll build our own Twitch with blackjack and hookers. Yeah. As a fact, forget Twitch. And then
with blackjack and hookers and copyright strikes. Oh.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that's the main thing people are concerned about with YouTube gaming.
Right. It's just like, let's go on YouTube and do live streams of all this copyrighted content, because we know you can totally do that on YouTube. Who cares? Yeah. Except for everybody.
But they could have, I think they, I don't know, it just, since YouTube's so ginormous, it could certainly be popular if they didn't have all the dumb copyright shit.
Yeah.
You know.
The thing is, like, Twitch, like, there's certain things that they allow on Twitch, like, you know, you can't stream movies or, like, you know, music or whatever. But, as long as you don't have any copyrighted content that is archived on your channel, then you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somebody like just goes in and just sees you like streaming a movie, is like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the good thing about Twitch.
But I mean, it doesn't seem like most people are kind of looking at it like, I'll try it out, but I'm not moving there.
Yeah.
You know, nobody, because you're not moving this show over there. This is still on Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, this show would do fine on YouTube. It's just that I'm not sure how I'm going to move the stream, because I'm so used to using Twitch now.
Right. I think that's the problem with YouTube gaming in general, is that people are embedded in Twitch. And again, the whole thing of like people moving away from YouTube is the same thing people moving away from Twitch. All the big people on Twitch make a fuck ton of money on Twitch, so why would they go to YouTube gaming?
Yeah.
So, you know, YouTube kind of has its own problem in reverse now. They need to get people onto YouTube away from Twitch, even though people have so much money. Like, all the big people do. And if the big people don't move, you're not going to get that audience. So,
yeah.
Same problem, different platform.
Yeah.
All right, next thing. Spielberg said some things.
I did.
Yeah. They blew these...
Yeah, this is
way
like
out of proportion.
Yeah, they kind of did.
Like Spielberg, basically what Spielberg did is he was like, at a certain point, superhero movies won't be popular, just like how westerns were. And it's like, yeah.
And then like there's articles saying like, Spielberg said that comic book movies are going to die off like the westerns.
Yeah, it was like, but it's really what he's saying is like, he even said like, not in 10 or 20 years probably, but eventually superhero movies won't be as popular. But then he was saying they'll probably come back again after that, much like how the westerns had several comebacks. So it's just like, the thing is like Spielberg knows film history like really, really well. And that's just like an analysis from someone who knows film history. But like I think most people could have told you the same thing. Yeah. That I think like I like don't actually think it'll be as popular at a certain point, but I don't see that end point yet, you know, but we also don't know what the future holds. So it's not like Spielberg's against them. I know he's not doing as many blockbusters as he used to, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, he's just pointing out the obvious. Now, he has said stuff in the past, like when him and Lucas said movies will cost $50 a ticket and there'll be events and stuff like that. That's not going to happen, because the thing that people forget about movies is movies are the entertainment for basically like ever since they were invented, they were for the lower class basically, and making them, they're already pretty expensive and people complain about that enough, and they are a little too pricey, but they're not going to get so high that no one can see them, because it just wouldn't work, because rich people like don't go to the movies that much, so they're not going to appeal to them. They're going to appeal to the people who are like, oh shit, I can have air conditioning all day if I see
it. I'm
still surprised.
Super rich. Go on.
I was gonna say, I'm still surprised like how much tickets are up there compared to down here.
Oh, what, New York?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in New York and Massachusetts.
Yeah,
Oh, how much are they in
Yeah.
Massachusetts?
It's like 11.75.
Oh, I'm like 15 up here now.
Well, I mean, 11.75 is like matinee price, but like it's like 15
Yeah,
something dollars.
my matinee price is like $8.
See, I
Yeah.
just have the movie pass, so it works out. But
You
But-
have a far more religious viewing of movies.
That's
Like you
true.
see them
No.
all the time.
no, well, I did a video about seeing movies, and I even say like, if you're not seeing it that often, you shouldn't do movie pass because
Yeah.
just financially, you just be throwing money down the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might do something like that next year because it's
I'm
next year.
surprised you don't have a movie pass, dude. Like
Yeah.
you see a lot of films.
Yeah, but I don't see enough a month to justify it. So I think next year I'm gonna try.
You just
like,
need something to enable you. You go
Well,
see
it might actually be cheaper where you. I don't know this, but I feel like it might actually be cheaper in your area than it is for me.
what
because
the
of-
movie pass.
Yeah, because the ticket price, they couldn't make it 35 everywhere. Because if you're 8 for a non-matinee, that you would have to see a million, like way more movies. Like it'd be impossible for you to save money. So that's not worth it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So,
but
how much is it for you?
for me, it's like 35
Okay.
or 34.98 or some bullshit. So to me, it's 35. I hate when people are like, no, it's 34, and like, whatever, it's 35. Come on. That annoys me. But
Yeah.
But
it
anyway.
it says like on MoviePass.com that it's like weird. Yeah, it says just $30 a month and 35 in some areas. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
probably 30 where I am.
I
instead of
would,
35.
yeah.
Yeah, because since you're in New York, it's like populated, huge.
But
area.
the other thing is you can't do 3D and IMAX, and you can't buy tickets in advance. So that's
Yeah.
that's they're trying to fix those, but yeah. But I don't think Spielberg. I wouldn't take. It's certainly something that will come to pass.
Yeah.
Superhero movies won't be the big interest of the studios, but big musicals aren't the big interest of studios anymore like they used to either. So
Yeah.
tastes evolve and change, and like fads come and go, and like the superhero movie is a fad. Let's be honest.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a fad, but it's a genre that's just really, really popular.
Yeah,
It's,
because
it's gonna
from
gonna
now
fade eventually.
Yeah, from now until 2020, there's like around 22 something films between DC
Yeah.
and Marvel.
Well, I think I think Marvel's slate is pretty much going to be what it is. I don't think DC slate. It seems like they just threw a bunch of shit on the wall and went like, "Let's announce," and like everybody's like, "We take this really seriously." I'm like, "Really?" Because like when you interview anyone who's in any of those movies, like, "Yeah, they called me like the day before." I'm like, "What are you doing in 2018?" I'm like, nothing. I don't have plans. And they're like, cool. You're gonna be like, because the guy who's playing.
Oh shit! The
Cyclops-
actor died. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I think Marvel has a pretty good level of consistency, and especially with the shakeup that just happened, I have faith in them. But, when Kevin Feige leaves, I don't know if there is a next Kevin Feige.
Is he leaving after the third Avengers?
That's been the rumor, but the other rumor is that he wants the Star Wars slot. Like, he wants to be the Star Wars producer, and Kathleen Kennedy would either wants to see Star Wars to the end of the first trilogy, and then Feige would step in. But apparently what had happened... Do you know about what happened with Marvel this week?
No, I didn't.
So the studio is owned by this eccentric billionaire who's really cheap, and he's the reason why actors don't get paid enough, and like they usually don't get their first choice because they're too cheap and too constraining. And they also had this creative coalition that would give people like crazy notes and not really understand how scripts work, and that's why Ant-Man didn't work out and why Joss Whedon hates them, basically. And that all Disney just came in and restructured, and Kevin Feige doesn't report to any of those people anymore. He reports right to Disney, so now they can spend more money on budgets and they can have their first choice, and Kevin Feige has more free reign, which is probably a good thing, because most like Joss Whedon and Edgar Wright, those guys all still like Kevin Feige. They don't hate Kevin Feige. They hate all those people that Disney just moved to the TV side of it instead of the movie side. So it could end up being disastrous, because the reason Ant-Man did so well is because Ant-Man didn't cost as much as it probably would have had that eccentric billionaire not been in where he was. Because most Marvel movies don't cost as much as they would at any other studio. Like they're always pretty low. I mean, they're still a lot of money, but they're lower. And with this guy gone, they can now spend more. But the question is whether that will hurt them or not. But we're not going to feel any waves from this shakeup until like 2017 because Doctor Strange is already set up. Civil War has already been shot. You know, it's like you're not really going to feel anything with this for a while.
So. Right.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to like see what happens when it does kick in, though. If there's like a tangible difference.
Part of me has thought like I wonder if they'll get Joss Whedon back now.
That would be cool.
Or even get Edgar Wright back, or get something really cool will happen that couldn't have happened before. Like, work out something with a really cool actor you never think they could get. That's kind of what I'm excited for, but I don't have any exact person who's going to play a future role who I have in mind who would, at this point. Because they don't have a movie yet that they've developed without this guy, So we'll see whatever is after Doctor Strange. What is that? Thor Ragnarok or
Ragnarok?
Raga, yeah.
Ragnarok.
Thor Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. Wait, when does the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon come? Did that happen?
The cartoon? I'm not sure.
Fuck, I even tweeted about when that was. Now I forget.
I saw like a short for it on the internet somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, they have shorts, and I haven't even Anyway, sorry.
They were animated really well. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, they were? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that was really nice. Like Young Justice, kind of nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Young Justice. I hear the. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, next thing.
All right. Yeah. So speaking of people talking about movies, Max Landis said a thing about movies.
Oh,
yes,
Jesus. Look. Max Landis. I like him on Twitter and on making videos, but like I don't
like him at all.
Well, I was talking with someone about this recently. It was like, who would have thought August of 2015 would ruin the reputation of everyone involved with Chronicle?
Yeah, I mean, I already hated him because of that interview we had in because I thought it was Josh Trank, but it was actually Max Landis who was in that movie. Was the video games the movie? There was that documentary about video games, and he says, "What if who's to say that Facebook isn't a video game?" And I was like, "Oh, shut your fucking pretentious ass face."
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, no. See, the thing is, like, Chronicle is a decent movie. I like Chronicle, but like American Ultra isn't that interesting or different of a movie. It just feels like kind of standard Hollywood stuff. And it feels like, a Jesse Eisenberg movie we saw. To me, it like looked like Zombieland or 30 Minutes or Less or something. So it's like you're supposed to be this crazy cool new screenwriter, and you're just making the same old Hollywood crap that isn't that great. Like, I'm curious about that Frankenstein movie he's making, or the Igor movie or whatever that comes out Thanksgiving. But I'm kind of like, between him and Trank, I'm starting to lose a lot of faith in that both of them, who I thought were promising. I'm like, oh, so you guys are just like, this was a fluke, maybe.
Yeah. Just how what's his name with District 9?
Oh yes. Good call. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crap, what was that guy's name?
Neil Blomkamp?
Yeah, Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
It's like you sit through two shitty movies. And that's what I sat through in August. I sat through Fantastic Four and American Ultra. And now I don't really like Max Landis or Josh Trank as much as I once did. More so with Josh Trank, though. But I would see another Josh Trank, but Max Landis, like, I don't know if I'll definitely see that Frankenstein movie.
But you're like Movie Pass.
I mean, but like, it's like, but I only have so much time in the week, and I think that Thanksgiving weekend.
That's the ultimate insult right there. It doesn't cost me anymore, but I just don't want to fucking spend my time watching your show.
I mean, that's really it, because it's like, okay, I want to see Creed, The Good Dinosaur, and those two are first. So then to see his Frankenstein movie, it's just like, I don't know, maybe if I get around to it, it's like, I don't know. I just don't get. I don't get him as a screenwriter as much as I sometimes he'll tweet something. Oh, that's really smart. But he's done a lot he's done a lot of dumb stuff. Like he tweeted about how Spider-Man, Sony or Marvel might get the rights back to Spider-Man early. Like he's like, what is wrong with you, dude? Like shut the fuck up. Like don't tweet about stuff like that. Like he did that like not right before, but a couple months before, and everyone was like, what's wrong with Max Landis? Like that seems weird. And like I don't know. He just
I feel like he's just having his Phil Fish moment
Yeah,
right now.
look,
yeah.
I was just looking at the chat and Gadget Freehand said Red Letter Media didn't like Chronicle, but they liked the Hobbit movies. Max's actual tweet.
Wait, they didn't like the Hobbit movies.
Yeah, I was like, but they didn't.
Yeah, they're pretty lukewarm on those.
That's what?
Did you see the tweet where they're just like, "Yo, Max Landis, you should come on Best of the Worst," and he's like, "Hell yeah, I'll come on Best of the Worst." I was like, "What? What's going on?"
Well, he doesn't have anything to do because I bet you Hollywood's like, well, let's stay. Also, this picture you have of him, it looks like he's like trying to cosplay as Hitman with a blue suit. And like he was starting
that's what it looked like at the premiere.
He was starting to shave his head, and then he went, I gotta leave, and like didn't finish. And this is like his shitty Hitman cosplay.
That's the greatest way to describe that hairstyle.
It was just like, he's not doing Natalie Dormer unless he did it the wrong way.
Actually, Paleo, you know what he looks like? He looks like a bad Phoenix Wright cosplayer who fucked up.
Oh my god, he does.
He's just like, I mean, I still like some of. I remember liking the Death of Superman thing at the time. I don't remember much of it, and like sometimes he'll say something interesting, but to me, it's like he would probably make a really good critic. You know, it's like he shouldn't be a screenwriter. Just you have a name for calling people out. You know, make it Max Landis.
Call people out for money.
We know what your dad has money. We know you're okay. Just make a damn YouTube channel. Do that because American Ultra did not make me. And then he starts tweeting about like original. Was it?
It was about original ideas.
Yeah.
Original
Bitching
ideas
about how American Ultra did bad because it was an original idea.
It says. Let's see. The question is, has that changed? I wish I could say Ultra was a bad movie, but it isn't. Divisive, sure, but better than others this week. Man, he's kind of full of himself.
I mean, well, I will say, is it better than Hitman? Sure, you won that argument.
And then he said, let's see, that's the question. Am I wrong? Are original ideas over? I wanted to pose this to the public because I feel, to put it lightly, confused.
What?
Wait, I skipped one. It says, am I wrong? Is trying to make original movies in a big way just not a valid career path anymore for anyone but Tarantino and Nolan? Well, the thing is that he's not Tarantino or Nolan.
Well, see, people always make this argument, like, how come original movies don't sell except for these guys? But the thing is, like, American Ultra had bad advertising. Like, most of the posters were Jesse Eisenberg or Kristen Stewart smoking weed. And like when you have unclear advertising, movies typically that have that don't do well unless you have a major star in it. And Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart aren't really stars that open.
People don't really like Kristen Stewart anymore.
Yeah. I mean, but she's not like. They need to think about like your movie didn't do well because it's not a premise that's going to do well. It has. It doesn't just have to do with that it's original. Audiences aren't really like, oh, this ain't based on Marvel Comics, so I'm gonna stay home. Like, no one says that. Like, they just they go, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy looks cool, I'm gonna go. Like, it doesn't matter to anyone what it is. And so, like, your idea looks dumb, they're not gonna go. That has nothing to do with if it's original or not. If you have a decent concept, people will show up. And it wasn't a good concept, and it wasn't advertised well, and he didn't have stars. That's Hollywood. That has nothing to do with original versus non-original. You know, that's just a fact. It's just like I think the problem with people who make original movies is they want this thing that Tarantino or Nolan or Pixar or Marvel or anyone with a big name has, and that's just something you would never have because they have a built-in audience. And Max Landis and American Ultra don't have a built-in audience.
I hear a cat wife.
No,
can't wait. Honey,
no, that's.
I can't get the tuna open. I need your thumbs.
No, that's okay. That's Buster. He's okay. Anyway, but yeah, that's what. Yeah, Anyway, original movies aren't dead. Max Landis' career is. Moving on.
Okay. I'm not sure if I should go on this other thing. This one other thing, it was like a sort of a general topic that I wanted to talk about before we move on to Q&A. And that's the fact that there are certain things that I become infatuated with. I made a post on Tumblr about it.
Like boobs?
No. No, I mean like stuff like as far as like a show or a game that I just like obsess over for like a month
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay. Where's this going?
No, like I wanted to ask you guys if anything has like taken over like your not consciousness.
There are certain well, I'm always like, I guess my problem is I'm very rarely not working on something that I'm not making a video for when I'm researching it. Mm-hmm. So there's been times like I have a Tumblr comic scans, and when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were coming out, I went through and got images from the comics, and I ended up getting obsessed with the early Ninja Turtle comics. Just because I was looking through them, I go, well, I might as well read them. And that's happened to me, like, someone will ask me to be on a podcast, and I'll watch a bunch of movies by a certain person. And then suddenly I'm like defending them, defending that person at a thing. Like, I got mad about, I watched this one director, Ida Lupino, and she's a female director who is one of the only female directors in the studio system, and I was getting mad. Someone was talking about women in film and they didn't bring her up, and I was like, you can't even, the conversation starts with her, you can't even. So that happens to me a lot, where I'll fall in love with something like inadvertently because I actually saw a cool cult movie called Disco Godfather this weekend, which was amazing, and I am a little obsessed with that. So Disco Godfather is like, it's a guy, a retired cop who owns a disco, and he's trying to stop angel dust, not a character, the drug. And because his son took angel dust and then lost his mind and went to a clinic of people who took angel dust and lost their mind, and like one of the girls, like, she took angel dust and she had a baby and then had her family over and then served her baby for dinner, but they don't show the baby being cut up or anything. But it's like all this disco music, but tons of like bad acting, and the main guy in it sounds like he's from Black Dynamite or something. It's just
Wow.
like it was like epically like, how I've not heard of this cult movie. If you can see Disco Godfather and you like cult movies, it is just like,
it sounds pretty awesome.
It was, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I kind of just ranted about stuff I like.
Yeah, but because the reason I bring this up because like recently I watched the final Madoka movie, or I guess it's the movie because the first two movies are sort of recaps. Madoka Rebellion, and I was kind of reminded of like how much I love that anime because I watched that around the same time I got into MLP, and I was kind of like obsessed with both at the same time, so I was like really infatuated, and I guess Tom, you can relate to the MLP thing because,
I was gonna
like,
say
that took over everything.
It did. It was really bad. But that's happened to me a couple times before. Like, there are things that I get like really, really obsessed with. Like, there are like tiers. Like, things that I like, things that I love, and things that like control my consciousness. Yeah. And like those are the scary ones. MLP was one of them. And that was probably like the worst one. And I really, thinking back, like, why? Fuck. There's like so many better things I've been into in my life. But that was one. Mass Effect was another huge one. I played the shit out of those games. And that just took over my life, and that was all I was thinking about. That was all I was doing. Back when I was a little kid, Spider-Man was really big. Digimon was a huge part of my life. Like, there's the Pokemon was a big thing for a lot of us back in the day.
Yeah, when Pokemon first came out, I got really into it, and I didn't really get out of it until like 2001, the end of 2001, because So
it lasted a while
because they kept coming out with the games and different spin-offs, and then they had Generation 2 really quickly after Generation 1 because we got Generation 1 late compared to Japan.
Yeah, it was
we got
like
98
2 years later.
Yeah, when they had it in 96 or 95, I can't remember.
It was 96, I think. So when you boot up the game, it says 96.
But then it took a while for Generation 3, and I just kind of forgot about it. So
yeah, but then I still got died down. I did too. and that was a big thing. But for a time, it was just like, don't leave the house without Pokemon. Like, absolutely not. You know, like, and it was a big thing. There's a lot. I guess there's a lot of things like that got really obsessed over,
Yeah.
unhealthily. So I don't think there's really anything in my life right now like that. I mean, I guess I'm obsessed with technology, but that's like been omnipresent throughout my entire life. Never let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really bad. That's probably the worst one, actually, just because it's become. I'm so obsessed that it's just a part of my life now, and I don't even realize I'm obsessed until I think about it. I'm just like, oh god, this is bad. You know, like I think that one's transcended everything else, and it's just become like part of my DNA.
Yeah.
Fuck. I need
Anyway.
help.
Yeah, that's just something I wanted to.
We should do an episode
mention.
of the POS podcast where we all have like lists of like those obsessed things, and we just
Yeah.
talk how we all
We
got
sh-
fucking
Yeah,
lost.
we should do that sometime. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
let's move on to Q&A. So
Okay.
yeah, if you want to take a break, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get a drink.
I'm gonna put this cheese away.
Yeah. So if you
I
want
I got the cheeses to go with those
oh
crackers.
wow,
I gotta put it away.
if you want to ask questions, our Twitter handles are below, and you can ask us on Twitter about things, about
Put
anything.
them in the tweets.
So
Tweet that
be
shit.
right back.
Hashtag tweets. Hashtag hashtags. I'm gonna go put this away. Jim, go tend to your cat wife.
Oh boy.
I've made it back before anyone else. The show is mine. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to my podcast. It's no longer the POS podcast because clearly if I'm on it, it's not a piece of shit. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We having a good time? Today on the Not POS podcast, I'm going to do a very special review for you guys. Today we're going to be reviewing original Cheez-It. So Cheez-It's an interesting product because it took what I was eating before the podcast started, which is cheese and crackers, and combined them into one convenient package. So I no longer have to take pieces of cheese and add them to crackers. I now have them combined in one delicious snack product. So Jim, what do you think about Cheez-It, the topic of tonight's discussion? We're reviewing Cheez-It, the product.
I like. Why does it say "All hail Tom, hail King Tom" in the chat right now?
Because I said since I got here back first, but it's no longer the POS podcast because I'm by myself. So,
how come? Have you ever wanted to do a podcast of like a Tomcast?
a Tomcast?
Yeah.
I've done live events on my YouTube channel, so I guess those kind of count.
Oh, okay. No, I don't do one either. Just wondering. Because you have a very podcasty presence. You know.
I don't do live events. I work better when I work off other people. When I'm by myself, I'm just like, hey guys.
Yeah, those podcasts are weird. When it's just like one person talking, and you're like, so this is like, when it's like a video, it's like a condensed amount of time. But when it's a podcast, you're like, how much of this is planned and how much of
So
this
much
is
more
planned?
pressure, so you have to fill the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a video, it's just like me and the script.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna say this thing. Okay. Think about it. Okay, I'm gonna say a thing again.
Yeah, I just don't. But yeah. All right. Questions. I have a lot of questions.
Questions.
I should probably open Twitter.
Yes. Oh, I can actually look at the chat.
Oh,
And-
here's one I can answer. It's a yes or no. Have you ever watched Donnie Darko? Oh no, Donnie Dario?
Donnie Dario? Do they mean Donnie Darko?
Is that
I
like
don't
a
know.
Donnie Darko porno?
I'm not sure, but if it's Donnie Darko, yes. If it's whatever this is, then no.
Yeah, Donnie Darko is one of my favorite movies.
I'm just gonna find ones that are easy to answer, to just get them out of the way. In your opinion, what is the best way to start a career in animation? Make animation. I'm not being a dick. I'm serious. Just start making it. That is the best way. Almost everyone who works on a show on Cartoon Network posts stuff online. I know that is a fact. So just do it, and then you'll get better, and then you can get into an art school and use that on your portfolio and know some shit and advance your knowledge, and you have a better platform than all the people that are at Cartoon Network now. So then think about that and think about what you can achieve through all the technology you have at this point. So seriously, just do it. You can. You have YouTube. We didn't have YouTube then, so
Yeah.
just seriously, just do it. Just start doing it. Even if it sucks, you will learn so much more by failing than by not doing any. If you don't do anything, you won't learn shit. So
True. Stop reading.
That's how you do it. Exactly.
Emperor Tiger Star asks, Coke, Dr. Pepper, or Pepsi?
Dr. Pepper.
I like Dr. Pepper, but sometimes I like Pepsi. But the interesting thing is I didn't realize my family, my dad always drank Coke. And one time we were moving, and I went to the pizza place, or I was moving, and my parents and my sister were helping me. And we went to a pizza place, and my mom was like, "Oh, we'll just get Cokes for She goes, 5 Cokes." And I go, "Oh no, I want a Pepsi." And it was like, pretty much I just said I was gay or something. Like it was like the most shocking thing. I mean, my parents would be fine with that if I was gay, but I'm not. But it was like
you drink Pepsi.
Yeah, it's like they're like, and they constantly say like, we're a Coke family. It was like, I know Dad drinks Coke, but I didn't know it was like a thing until just now. I mean, but it's like sometimes when we have a family gathering or we're at a restaurant and I'll say like, "Oh, I'll have Pepsi," they all look at me like, "The fuck is wrong with you? You and your New York sodas. You think you're better than me? You think you're better than me with your Pepsi?"
Jim, you said that they would be okay with you being gay. Would they be okay with you having a cat wife?
Fucking hell. I
prefer Dr. Pepper. It's a drink for the chosen ones.
Well, you know what? I like Dr. Pepper, but my problem with Dr. Pepper is it's heavy, so then I like want to take a nap.
It is very heavy.
But
it
I
does
like
not
that.
quench thirst at all.
What was that Dr. Pepper? It's not Diet Dr. Pepper, but it was like less calories. It was in like a gray bottle. You know what I'm talking about? And they advertised it. It was like only for men, but it was actually really good.
Oh
Do you remember
that Dr.
this?
Pepper. I can't remember what it was called.
But I used to tell people like, not only is it good, like if they didn't just make such a shitty ad campaign, more people would have drank it. It was like really good. Like I was pissed off that they
never understood that. It's like, okay, guys, we have a product. We need to sell it to make money. Let's completely alienate 50% of the population.
Yeah.
What a great advertising
Because
campaign.
when I had it there was something I was with other people and I had some of it and I let other people try it and everyone's like, I'm really like people who didn't drink soda liked it. So like Dr. Pepper, you screwed yourself so much because I thought that could have done so much better. I was really into it, and you can't.
Oh, Dr. Pepper 10, that's what it was.
Yeah, that was good.
Because it was like 10 calories or whatever.
It was, and it tasted good. Like it didn't. Diet Dr. Pepper I don't like so much, but Dr. Pepper 10 I really liked. I do love Dr. Pepper. It's just like I have to. It's like a nice, tasty treat.
I mean, Dr. Pepper is my favorite out of the dark sodas, but I like Sundrop, which I drink right now.
Dark sodas. Ooh. I just imagine
what
those.
What do you mean dark sodas?
Yeah, what do you mean dark sodas, Paleo?
Sounds a little.
What are you talking about, dark sodas?
Just because Dr. Dre was in a Dr. Pepper commercial does not mean it's a dark soda.
Okay, I have a question here from Digital Arrow.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on 20th Century Fox planning on doing a Mega Man film?
LOL.
It could be good, but I don't see it as being.
Is it an animated movie or a live action?
I think they're saying the combo crap.
Oh well,
that sounds bad.
Awful.
It would have been better animated.
Awful. That sounds awful. Is Mega Man and Roll going to be 3D, but then like Dr. Wily's going to be some crazy guy with like makeup?
Oh God.
I mean, thing is, like, I get the sense the studios are like, video game movies are going to be the next thing, but they clearly don't know how to start it.
Yeah, they have no idea how to start
the whole
it.
thing, it's like with comic movies now. We need people who are like grew up with them.
Hopefully, since we talked about it last podcast, about Nintendo trying to get into the movie business again, since they haven't like tried anything like that since the early 90s, because they were like, let's never go into this again. Yeah. So, hopefully they turn out to be like the Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, it's also who are they going to partner with? They're not going to distribute their own movies, are they?
I don't know.
Like that's the part of it I don't like. If I were
Distributed
them,
over Miiverse. The new
Because
I mean, I've thought like, why aren't they? Because they have their own distribution system. If they're gonna make a show, I would just make it available through their systems.
yeah,
but if
then,
they're gonna
put it on YouTube.
but if they're or just make it exclusive through their own shit, and
Yeah.
I don't. But they could. I think they could make a movie. They just have to find.
They've experimented with the short films that Miyamoto made for the Pikmin short films.
Yeah.
I still need to watch those. So, which those are completely animated. So, if anything, they're probably going to go into animation.
I think
I would really
Mario Brothers could only work in animation.
Yeah.
I don't see it working anything.
Well, we already saw it didn't work as live action.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Just saying.
All right. Ozzy asks, Paleo, thoughts on Hotel Transylvania 1 and upcoming 2? I like Hotel Transylvania. It's a pretty good Halloween time movie.
I mean, I kind of gave it a pass just because I thought he was gonna move on and be able to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
And clearly that has not turned out to be true. Like, I thought the next project was gonna be Popeye. I didn't think it was gonna be, a Hotel Transylvania 2. But I'm not in love with that movie. But I don't have a strong opinion. But I'm gonna see 2. I mean, the thing with Gendy, I still think like Pixar. What is your deal? Like, why did you not sign him? Like that was one of
why not?
That's Pixar's biggest fuck up. Like you can tell they're worried about how they're gonna have a new auteur to carry the studio, and which they don't have. They just have the same brain trust people coming back, kind of like with their tail between their legs because they fucked up live action. But like, they shouldn't go the way of Studio Ghibli and have to close because they don't have a new director. Get Gendy in there, like buy him up from Sony. Or I'm curious what the deal is with that. Like, I would like to. Did Gendy was he not interested? Like, because that just seems like, how did you let him go? It's always kind of bugged me,
Yeah, that is weird.
Because he should be there, right? Like, he should be there. When you talk about the best animation directors, after the Pixar people, it's like him. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But I'm gonna see it. I'm not in love with Hotel Transylvania as much as everybody else.
Yeah, I really like the movie.
Yeah, dude, it looked really cool.
Yeah,
the way everything was animated, the movement of the Popeye trailers.
No, the movement's always really good. Like,
yeah,
he directs them very well.
From Amiibo for Everyone, since Inside Out is the 4th highest grossing Pixar movie and soon to be the 3rd, do you think they will make more original movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
think so.
I think that's still the backbone of Pixar.
I think they still will, but they're going to make too many sequels, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
Disney.
Incredibles 2 will never come out ever.
Shut up!
Hey, look, I'm not against it. I'm just saying.
You're cursing. You're jinxing it, man.
They're teasing us too much.
It's coming.
Ooh.
Right. Love and Sky asks, if Jim was a pony, what race would he be? He would be a cat.
Yeah, he would be a cat.
I don't know what any of this means. So
exactly.
Is that a race in the thing?
There are cats.
I'm saying you can be with your cat wife. That was the joke. You missed it.
Oh, god damn it. I don't know how long
we're going to name this episode Jim's Cat Wife.
No, don't name it that.
I'll
draw a picture for the thumbnail and everything.
Paleo and Tom are stupid. Name it that.
That's every other episode, though. Give the people a break.
Let's see. XOXS. You have to. This is a good question. If you had the choice between making a dream cartoon or a dream movie, which would you choose and what would it be about?
Ooh. Okay. I think it depends, because if you could do a dream cartoon, you'd have to make sure that you either retain creative control through the entire run of it, or that you can choose for it to die and not get resurrected later, so it doesn't get run into the ground.
But would there be a twist to that? Could it be like your Pembleton Ward, and suddenly you don't want creative control because it becomes too overwhelming and it becomes a nightmare? In fact,
I don't know. If it's a dream, would it get to that point?
But it's like it's your dream project, and you're like at first it's amazing, and then eventually you're like I can't handle this anymore, and then it's become too, and then you have to sell it off, and then you feel pathetic.
I
That you
guess I
have
would just
nothing.
say do it as a movie because then like it has an end and you can make sure that like it doesn't get fucked up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
make sure
I'd probably do
everything's
a
wrapped
movie.
up. They never do a sequel ever because fuck that shit. I don't trust people besides myself when it comes to my dreams.
Well, that's healthy. Anyway, next question.
Let me see what we got. Ozzy asked me, what smartphone do I choose, iPhone or Samsung? Well, Ozzy, I'm actually in a great position to answer this question because I have an iPhone 6 and a Galaxy Note 5 right
And
now.
I have a Droid Max.
It's not a Samsung.
I know, but it's not. I'm saying that's the third option.
Yes, you can get something else besides the Samsung. Well, right now, like, I was actually going to return my Galaxy Note 5 because I got it for the 2-week like test out period, and I wanted to return it because like even though it has like 4 times the RAM and like 4 times the amount of CPU cores as the iPhone 6, it's still slower because there's so much bloatware on it. Because it's Labor Day weekend, I can't return it, so I'm stuck with it now. So it really depends on what you want to do. iPhones are really like basically to sum up Android versus iOS in like a sentence. Android can do way more than iOS can, but everything iOS can do that Android does, iOS does better. So like it runs faster, it runs smoother, has a better experience, there's way better applications and a better selection of them. But you can do things on Android you can't do on iOS. You can like set default apps. So like if you want to use a different browser than the built-in one on Android, you can set it to be a default browser. On iOS, you can't. Same thing with like the web, with the email client and stuff like that. On Android, you can download files directly off the web. So like if you get a song from SoundCloud and you want to add it to your music library, you can do that right on your phone. Whereas with iOS, you have to download it on your computer, then sync it through iTunes. So as long as you want to keep stuff simple and you just kind of want like a reliable device that works really smoothly, you want to go with an iPhone. If you're kind of more of a power user and you're going to like do a bunch of crazy shit with your phone, like if you want to play emulators or if you want to download torrents on your phone or if you want to like have a file manager and stuff, like you want to go with Android. So it depends on your preference. But I would say if you're gonna buy an Android phone, I would go with something by Motorola because Moto
that's what
has
this is.
the best devices out right now. They just released the new Moto X, the Moto X Play, and it's $399 off contract. It's probably one of the best Android smartphones out right now. So, like I said, I'm way too obsessed with this stuff.
Let's see. Alec Greer asks, Jim, what is your favorite Coen Brothers movie?
I don't know. There's a lot of them I like. Blood Simple's up there. Big Lebowski grows on me more over time. I actually saw it in theaters when it was first released, and I was like, "What?" I mean, it's weird because when I first saw it, I was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, I did not entirely understand it. And then when I got to college, kids were like referencing it, and I was like, "That movie, like nobody liked, like that I saw." Like, you guys like that movie? And they're like, yeah. But I guess, like, Big Lebowski, that No Country is Always High. I always like Fargo.
I recently watched No Country for Old Men.
That's a
really
good one. I think, but yeah, Blood Simple's always been pretty... I know it's the first one that's, like, a cliche thing to say, but I always like that one.
One recent one I've watched with Matt was Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, that one is good.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah.
They're pretty consistent. Like, they never... There's very few of their movies I don't like. Probably in the mid-2000s they went through a bad period, but they got out of it, thankfully. So...
Let's see.
Follow Nova asks, what should I get for their PS4? Should I get Mad Max or wait till Kingdom Hearts 3 and FF7 come out? You should get Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, people...
Fucking amazing.
People keep asking me about the Mad Max game, but I haven't played it, so I don't ever know anything enough about video games to say, is it good or?
I have no idea
Oh.
because I didn't like the movie, so I don't care.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Someone Auto Racket, I think that's his name, or asked, "What do you think of the Jetsons movie?" I mean, I didn't love
the
it.
Jetsons movie? Are you talking about the
cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon movie.
The '80s with Tiffany.
The
as Judy
Flintstones
Jetson.
meet the Jetsons. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I mean, I liked it when I was a kid, but it's kind of too environmental and stupid. So, kind of like most people. I don't know.
The Office in Depth asks, would you rather play a video game based on pixels, playing as Adam Sandler, or Rent, and why?
Oh my god.
What's the other option?
Or Rent. That's just there's a game of Rent. What if that's really good? Huh? Think of that shit. I don't know. Those both sound very unappealing.
No, I think that's the point.
Wait. So if you're playing as Adam Sandler in a Pixels game, that means you can kill Adam Sandler. That sounds like fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a smart move, Tom. Smart move.
Sometimes I have my moments.
Oh, Dakota Hamlet, I think that's how you say their name, says, "What's up, bitches?" Nothing. Thanks for asking.
XOS asked, what was the worst field trip you went to as a kid?
One time I went to a box factory. No. Actually, there wasn't a field trip, but I went to this school. It was like a private school, and they were going to go to a ski trip. And as you can tell from looking at me, I don't like physical activity. So I did not want to go on the ski trip. And I was like, Mom, I'm staying home that day. And like we were debating, like, should I go to school and just do busy work? And I remember my mom coming to me, and this is an exact quote. It's like sounds laughable that she would say that. Jim, I mean, I'm all for you, like, you don't want to go on this trip, but you're going to do a report on Annapolis. And I literally looked at her like, I think I honestly said, are you serious? Like, you think I want to do a report on Annapolis? Why would I want to do that? And so I got out of anytime there was going to be a worse field trip, I either fake sick or convinced my parents to let me stay home. So
yeah,
I did not go.
What field trips I went on.
I went on some good ones, but
I can't remember any like field trips.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I've expunged all memory of high school.
That's
Also,
trouble.
I hated it.
Tom, tell Matt that we're doing the podcast because he messages me, and if I message him, it'll have the screen go away. But
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, and just link him to the thing. Ozzy All asks, speaking of sequels, I haven't seen anything new DreamWorks movies other than Kung Fu Panda 3. Any news? That does remind me is that as far as DreamWorks sequels, the only other things besides Kung Fu Panda 3, which is coming out, and then How to Train Your Dragon 3, they haven't really been doing other sequels, just those, and everything else is original or based on something.
Well, they did sequels before with the Madagascar
and Shreks
and stuff. So I mean, I'm sure they'll do more, but they're having a tough time of it recently, so I don't know what they're going to do. Even though they are kind of the second biggest animation studio.
I know they're doing the Captain Underpants movie.
What?
They are.
Yeah.
That's getting a movie?
Yeah, it's getting a movie.
I was big into that as a kid.
I was too old when that started, so I never got into it.
And they're also doing the Trolls movie.
Wait, is it so it's
Troll Dolls?
Oh, I thought it was just a movie about people who troll.
Are you fucking serious? They're making a movie of those terrifying demons?
Yeah. No, remember this cartoon where it was like the extreme trolls? They were all like beefed up and stuff. Hold on, let me find an image of it because I remember seeing it at my old house.
Extreme trolls?
And I was like, what the hell is this?
I thought the only extreme
trolls
It was
like the Trolls for Boys or something.
Sounds terrifying.
Let me find an image of it. Let's see. Oh, son of a bitch. I forgot what it was called. Oh, was it Stone Protectors? Is that what it was? But they were based on the Troll Dolls.
Dude, isn't it always weird?
Oh my god, this is it!
They take girls' toys and then they try and make them extreme for dudes.
Yeah.
It's like when they took Zuzu pets and made them like
pets. I was just thinking of that. But yeah, this is it.
Oh my god, what am I looking at?
I'll link it in the chat.
Stone Protectors. It's funny because the first thing I thought was like their balls, and that guy looks like he's kicking someone in the balls.
Yeah, I remember these. It didn't really work out.
No, it didn't.
I can't imagine why.
See, not everything can be a thing. The trolls don't need this. But yeah.
It's like that extreme Looney Tunes cartoon, TV show, whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember what it was called, but it was
What?
that
What
like
show?
extreme Looney Tunes cartoon.
Lunatics.
Lunatics.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see. A question. Go.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Am I here?
You're still dying. Oh god, you're turning into
no.
a blob. Oh, now you're not moving.
It was being weird before.
Okay. That
Favorite-
seems...
Cheese? Anyone?
Oh
Favorite
no.
cheese?
Yeah, someone
Favorite
asked that.
cheese. Shit.
Oh, you just had your cheese.
For me, I'd say Gouda.
Is it a Gouda cheese?
What would Tom's favorite cheese be?
You know, that's a tough choice because there's so many options.
I know.
As a white man, I do enjoy my cheese. It's funny because I was just talking about that earlier because we my parents went to the Cape this weekend with one of their friends, and my mom, to thank them, brought them like a cheese, like a fancy cheese that she bought at the store, and they're like of Latin American descent, or Latin descent, I should say.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, this is such a white person gesture, giving someone just cheese. I don't know if they'll appreciate it like they're hoping they will. But I'm getting off track. My favorite cheese as a white person, it really depends on the scenario and what you're pairing it with. You know,
Yeah.
because on sandwiches, I like the provolone. Provolone is nice because
provolone
it's not
I always get.
doesn't overpower any of the other stuff. It complements the other taste you'll be having the sandwich very effectively. Cheddar's always nice. Sharp cheddar, good stuff. I think that's probably like the best one on crackers. I'm a very simple man when it comes to my cheese. I don't really like the fancy shit. Because I'm a poor person, so I don't. It's like magical to me. I don't think they actually exist. But it really just depends. I don't know if you guys are more pedestrian in your cheese preferences, but for me,
Wow, this is getting classy. We should do a wine
Wow.
and cheese episode, and it's just we each have glasses of wine and eating cheese, and go, well, you know, I think Spielberg's attempt at film history isn't really saying anything about the
I think
current
you're saying that
cinematic
reminds
plot.
me. The thing that Paleo cut me off on, I was gonna say earlier, we were talking about how like movies are expensive. I was gonna say, like, I don't think we're gonna have like a rich person sit down in the movie theater with their caviar, just like, I cannot wait to see Avengers 3. It's going to be amazing.
How did you know I did that when I saw Avengers 2?
Well, you just kind of exude the airs of a film connoisseur with a hint of arrogance.
Speaking of arrogant film connoisseurs, I was watching this documentary on Netflix called "What Is Cinema," and there's this
jeez.
real... What?
I can already see where this is
I
going.
kind of want to see this documentary.
Oh
now.
yes, you do, because like there's like these people in New York that are like watching these. I don't.
Wait, is it these guys who always go to various theaters? Is that it?
No, they're like in this room, and it's just like
Oh,
a blank
sorry.
wall. There's not even like a screen, and they're showing a film on it, and the film is like kind of like very, very experimental. Like it's just like 2 frames, and then like it's jittering, and then it's like another 2 frames that's jittering, and like people are just looking at it. It's like there's like no narrative or anything. It's just like
Okay.
The fine art.
I was like, what
Cinema.
the fuck are these people watching?
Why were they showing it to them?
I don't know, because they it's really artsy fartsy stupid things. It's like that one video of that girl who like opens the can of SpaghettiOs and then like shits in it or whatever.
What are you watching on YouTube, Paleo?
This is fine art, dude. Have you not delved into the fine art world?
This
It's
is
awful.
just like, but I haven't watched this documentary. I watched one. They had one on.
Wait, I need to interrupt everyone because they're commenting right now that spray cheese is god awful. God, it's the worst.
Oh, you're talking about in the can thing?
Yes!
Yeah, it
No,
is.
spray cheese sounds like a good idea, but it's not a good idea.
It's so bad. And whoever designed that should be shot.
I believe he was. He was. You know what? I was gonna say something fucked up, but never mind.
He was Adolf Hitler.
I was gonna be like, he was a Jewish man in Poland in 1932 when he invented this. But I'm gonna stop myself, even though pretty much everyone knew where it was going. So, next question. Do you like dry or gel deodorant? I don't think people do the dry stuff anymore, man. But thanks for asking. Do they? I don't think they do.
What, dry? Like what the
spray stuff, I guess.
Spray deodorant? It sounds way too rich for my taste.
Wow, you have some class issues. Thank you.
I'm very poor, okay?
You're just like the rich people with their caviar and their fucking stupid attitudes selling me insurance. Fucking dicks.
I wish I had insurance, you crazy?
Any modern cartoons you really like besides Steven Universe or Gravity Falls?
Rick and
You
Morty.
Bears.
Yeah, Rick and Morty. And
BoJack
Gravity
Horseman.
Also Gravity Falls or Steven Universe.
Yeah.
So those are really good. You should...
No, We Bears, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, Starburst Force.
Oh, have you watched Rick and Morty?
I have. I watched all of it.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought you'd like that.
It was not as good as BoJack Horseman, but it was still funny.
Yeah, it's really, really funny. That's why I like
BoJack.
it.
BoJack, I would throw in there also.
BoJack is like top tier.
BoJack's awesome. There's a lot of good stuff right now. It's kind of like it's easier to mention the stuff that isn't good than the stuff that is good because there's just so much good animation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. We should keep it like this for another couple of years before it all inevitably collapses.
Yeah.
From Monkey Heck 95, are you going to see the Iron Giant re-release in theaters? And did you love the first one? Wait, there is only one.
I've actually.
It means like the first viewing of it.
Yeah, I never saw it in theaters.
I saw it in the theater, but it was a later showing, and it's a lot of fun to see with an audience. So if you haven't seen it with an audience, I recommend it. But I don't think I'm going to get to just because of time, and I've already done it. So
yeah, I want to. I probably will. And there's also another re-release that Turner Classic Movies is doing at the end of this month. Is Psycho.
Oh, they're doing Psycho? Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So,
Turner Classic Movies is going through a bit of a change, but it's actually not because they're trying to appeal to more people.
We can't do that, guys. Look, we can't keep going to these re-releases because eventually they're going to realize they don't even need to remake things. They can just put the exact same thing back up and charge ticket prices again.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
But
I would actually
there
like
won't be
that.
any new movies anymore. We're just going to have the same 50 years of releases over and
I
over
could
again.
fucking catch up. This is my dream. I think I've told you this before. It's like I've always wanted to write to Hollywood and go, just give me a year. I will catch up. I will be so good. Just give me a year, Hollywood. But instead they send me the trailer to Batman vs Superman on a fucking DVD. Like, thanks a lot, Hollywood. Thanks a lot.
Look, you can't get this from Hollywood. If you want to catch up, you need to go to www.thepiratebay.com. That's the thing you need.
Well, that's not even the Pirate Bay. That's some weirder site.
Look, you know what I meant, okay? I don't use torrents.
I know. I don't. It's your friend who uses them.
Yeah, my friend uses torrents, and he just gives them.
Sami Oliver.
Yeah, he's a real dick.
I don't like Sami. You know,
I would download a car.
Sami made this joke about like a cat wife. Fucking prick.
Yeah, what a fucking asshole.
It's fucking Sami. Oh man, I really wish you did have an alternate channel, and it was this guy named Sami, and he thinks the exact reverse of what you think, and he wears like a hat, and then you don't. Oh man, this is a good concept. I need to go with it somewhere with it.
You need to do it yourself, clearly.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on this Sami channel right after.
All you have to do is just like flip your video 180 degrees and like invert the colors.
I like it.
All right, we'll do a few more. Ozzy all asked, let's see, wait. That wasn't it. Oh, yeah. Ozzy all asked, to all, ever think about making a YouTube toy reviews?
No, because I don't know enough about.
It's a
I would
huge thing, though.
It's
I
a
know-
huge
I
thing
know
on
it's
YouTube.
Like
Yeah.
the unboxing. Like, you know what they did for the Star Wars Force Friday? They did a 4-hour unboxing event, and
Wow.
then the best thing, I just scrolled through it. I was like, wonder like what this is like, and it's just like very planned out things in different places in the world. And one of them was hosted by Rufio from Hook. I was like, man, Rufio, that's a deep fall. You're fucking on the unboxing Force Awakens thing, and I bet he wanted to be on that shit too. Which is, I'm sorry, Rufio, that just sucks for you, Rufio.
Dude, they probably got so many like millions and millions of hits though.
Oh no, that thing was huge. But I don't get like about unboxing. Like, so you just watch them open something? Like that's
Yeah.
it.
Basically, it's for people who can't afford to buy things. You get the experience of actually like opening it up after you
So
purchased it.
it's one of the biggest demographics for that is children because they can't buy it themselves. So they look at other people with it.
I just don't. I don't think I do a toy review just because I don't really collect toys, and I'm like, when I think about buying like an action figure, I'm super picky, and then I talk myself
Jim,
out of doing
Jim.
anything. What?
You need to make a Blu-ray unboxing channel. Unboxing your Blu-ray.
See, although people have asked me a lot to like go through like all the DVDs and stuff, but I don't. But the thing is, it's like that would take forever, and I'd want to tell a story about each one, and it would like be a series that would never end. And then I have binders that aren't even here, so
Sounds like money to me. It never ends.
I mean, I don't think people would be. I don't know. I like doing the reviews. I don't think I'd like. I mean, the guy. What's his name? Sean C. Phillips He's from the same town as I am, and I know he started the DVD updates, like the stuff he buys and stuff. But I don't think I could ever do that.
I just feel like way too narcissistic whenever I think of concepts like that.
Like,
who cares what I buy? I barely care what I buy.
Well, then I'd have to like justify like, oh yeah, I got this because I was working on something and I thought it had this shot, and then it's like it was hard, or like I got this from a friend, or like, it's like at a certain point it's not going to hold up because it's like a lot of these are stuff I like, but I don't know. It's just like to explain it, or some are like things I'd want to review later. I don't want people to know, I like to be surprising, I guess. I don't know. Not that I am. But I do have this Jaws shark, so there's that. I can
review that. Jim, I actually have a question kind of related to what you were saying as you eat my face. This is like not really related, but why do you shoot your videos in 4:3? Is there a reason for that?
I like 4:3.
Just nostalgic for 4:3.
I guess I could do HD, but I've just always liked 4:3. And when I started on the internet, I've been posting stuff on the internet for a very long time. And one of the things I learned is if you make things, well, this is probably where it comes from, but I don't think it's true anymore, is if you make things like, if you don't go higher tech, you're available to more people. And a lot of the people who watch like my first cartoon, Cletus the Fetus, would watch it at like a library and stuff. Like they didn't like, it was like a lot of the viewers were poor, so I never went too crazy with it because I knew they had to be able to watch it. So I guess that's kind of where it came from. But I just like 4:3 and I kept it that way. And I've thought about doing it HD, and I might revisit that, but I'm kind of like, meh. I don't know.
Would you do it in HD and then artificially make it 4:3, so like crop off the edges of the frame?
I would hate that. I don't know. I've thought about it, especially because I had a problem with my computer, and I had to reinstall, like I had to update everything, and my camera's a little better, so I think it probably could do better in HD. So
I do know that on YouTube, as far as the quality of the way the video looks, is a big part of whether somebody's going to watch you or not.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, no, maybe I will at some point. I don't think it would be anytime too soon because I'd want to test it and all that stuff. But
I know people are really anal about that shit.
No,
but I was wondering if there was a stylistic purpose or just like, man, I just don't have a good camera. It's like, okay.
No, I mean, I could. I'm exporting from Final Cut, but I tested, like when I first started, I tested all these different export settings, and I think there's one I have in like 720, and various different formats when I started, but I just stuck with 4.3 because I also kind of like 4.3. I don't have a problem with it, but I probably maybe I'd do HD at one point, but I don't think it would be anytime too soon.
So I'll end with one last question. It's from Matt. Was asking us a question.
Okay.
Said, for all of you, do you think you guys will keep up with or watch the Amazon series, the Man of High Castle?
I don't even know what that is.
He told me about this the other day or yesterday, I think.
What is it?
It's a series on Amazon about it's based on an alternate history novel about if the Axis powers won World War II instead of
totally
the Allies.
Sounds like a Matt thing.
It's definitely a Matt thing.
I'd watch the fuck out of that. Actually, that sounds.
I've heard of books about that before.
I'd watch it.
But yeah, and like the U.S. is like there's the Nazi part of the U.S. and then there's the Japanese part of the U.S.
Interesting.
So that might be interesting to watch.
Because it's a cartoon and it's on Amazon.
No,
right
it's
now.
not a cartoon.
Oh, it's just a show.
It's a show. Yeah.
Maybe I'd watch it.
It's not one of those dirty cartoons.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that it? Are we done?
I mean, we've been going on for.
We have
2
been
hours,
going on.
So. Yeah.
It might be time
we
to
should
wrap
probably
it up.
Stop. So.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess next time Jim won't be here.
No, I will not.
Oh.
Jim, are you going to be in a
Sorry.
coma because you're going to go see The Visit and it's going to be awful?
I'm ready for a B horror movie with The Visit, so I don't think that would put me in a coma.
But it's Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah, but I feel like this will be. I have some hope for this just because the stakes for him to make this good are so low that no one really expects him to make a decent B horror movie. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But I'd be fine with it. I just love the part in the trailer where she's like, "Can you get in the oven to clean it?"
Yeah.
I love that. It's really funny. Most of the movies in September, there's a part in the trailer that I just think is really funny for no reason. It's like that, and when that guy says, "You'll never survive out in the scorch." Like, I like that one too.
What's that from?
It's in the Maze Runner.
Yeah, the Maze Runner.
Maze
I don't
Runner
watch
Scorch
TV,
Trials.
so.
There's this part where he just says the scorch, and just the way he says the scorch, like I've laughed out loud in the theater just because it's funny. I don't know, but I'm actually, but yeah. But I'll be here the time after that time.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, next time will be me, Saber, and Tom most likely. So, yeah, be here next time, and thanks for coming out. So, bye.
Bye.
You can stop waving.
Is that it? that was it.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Jim, do you have a good picture of your black cat?
Why?
Stop being
I-
racist.
I need it for a thumbnail.
Oh no! I'm not having anything to do with this.
Fine,
I'm not-
I'll
I'm
use
not-
a different black cat.
I feel like there's so
Just use
many.
the cap-